Hello, everyone. This is Princess Farron. And first of all, happy holidays or Merry Christmas to celebrate it specifically. So, I am here to do a little reaction to the 5.0 second anniversary. This is, for what I can see from the thumbnail, 5 cards, secret times 5 cards. And I very much love those. Um, so, yeah, let's check this out and see if we can infer something from all the elements, because I already can see you've got some info here. I don't know if it's only about the previous myth or if there are some clues as for the next one. So let's go. Oh, first is the elements for each LI. Golden apples. Okay, and imagery for each one of them.
In space-time's vastness, you're the only moment I want to
Oh,
claim as
oh, we
mine.
got the chess pieces. Oh,
If annihilation is an inevitable end, I'll freeze it before it can even reach you.
annihilation.
I swear to burn in the
Rafayel.
flame that bears your
Oh,
name
did you
until
see
I'm
that?
completely consumed.
His necklace. It's like
In
fish shield.
Doomsday's revelry, we're everlasting marks that desire has
Natura.
branded on our souls.
Oh, look at that stained glass. The dragon shape, it's so beautiful.
You're my gravity. That inevitable path my love and sins must follow.
Okay. All right. Why does Caleb always hold the fruit, the apple, near his crotch? He always puts it there. Like, here, take a bite. Okay, so, all right. Let's just check this out again. Okay, this is the chapel, Sylus Chapel. We see here the feathers falling, and it's all red, of course, it's his color, but it kind of reminds me of fire. And we know that in the Beyond Cloudfall myth, they set things on fire. God, this is coriander. This is the cilantro that Caleb dislikes, right? And we've got 2 apples. I mean, they symbolize him in the MC, and they're golden. Okay, the golden apples of discourse, like in the Greek mythology. I think I talked about it when Caleb first appeared. I talked about the symbology of apples, and here they're golden, so I can really relate to that. But the cylinder here, it's so funny. Okay, and this is Silas, the Datura, the black feathers, and the chains. He's always associated with, you know, prison and being in chain, being contained. I mean, he's Tartarus, he's Hades. It's kind of like the prison for the Titans. Okay, here we have the flame lilies, Raphael's flowers, and the conch shell that he used to calm the waves and to play for the MC. So this is related to the previous myth. Zayne! Okay, this is the scales that are mentioned in the previous myth, the Sacred Chapter 1. We've got the jasmines, of course, and a scalp. You remember that he had to take off his heart in order to try and save the MC? I don't know if you remember that part of the myth that he offered it. Yeah, because he had to put something in the scales, on the scales that would have enough weight, and he used his own heart. So that's why we have the scales here. Curious. Curious or not, he's a Virgo, and Estrella is also associated with Virgo, and she carries the scales of justice, just like her mother, Themis. That is the goddess, the Titaness of justice. I'll actually talk about that in a video about Xavier, because he's a Libra. Okay, speaking of Xavier, we have here the imagery. Okay, here we have the chess pieces that were, I mean, they're not exactly the same, but we have here chess pieces that were teased in the Death and Rebirth update. They appeared in Zayne and Sylus parts of the story. I don't know if you remember that. We could see the chess game. Okay, here I don't know which piece is this one, but here is the queen, the white queen. The white queen has fallen. And we have here the lumen flowers that appeared in on the third Xavier's myth. The KO theme is. Alright, this one is related to Caleb because we see here the Ferris wheel, and it's kind of like an apocalyptic world, very reminiscent of Nier Automata. So this is Caleb. We have seen already Sylus. Here is just the eyes from Zayne, water, and space. Okay. Now, let me see here if we can. Oh, look at this. I think I'm gonna edit this a little bit and I'm gonna take some screenshots so we can see this better. But okay, this one in Xavier, we can see here it's you see this in the video that they did for the presentation of the 3OG guys. We had some imagery similar to this for Xavier's myth. Let me see if I can pause this. You see, it's like a chalice or a goblet. But if you take a look at the shape, it's kind of reminiscent of an hourglass. You see? Or you can also say the infinity symbol. You see? But I associate this with the hourglass because here we can see like the sands of time or evil light power or stardust because it's kind of golden is slipping away from the goblet. And the goblet, the chalice, they're usually associated with royalty, right? But also with magic. So it's very fitting with Xavier's themes, you know, him being part of royalty of the royal house. And then the time thing, the time aspect, the fact that he's traveling through space and time, but apparently time or his power is running out. That's why we have here the golden kind of river, liquid, dust slipping away. And we have, of course, the flowers, the forget-me-nots. Oh, another interesting detail. So the White Queen was dropped on the floor, and so is this chalice, goblet, hourglass. And everything is fallen. See? Keeps on wasting away. Okay, we have here more flowers. We have here, I'm assuming this is upside down. It should be 9 and here 10. So it's kind of like a clock. So once again, we have here the lexicon of time.
Space-time's vastness, where the
Okay. First light. Yeah, it's kind of like a clock. Yeah, for sure. 7, 8. Yeah, it's a clock. It's a clock. So, time. Okay, first light. Oh. Okay, he's holding
only moment
a black piece. And the one that is on the floor on the table is the white one. Okay. So there's that dichotomy between the dark and the light. It makes sense, but I would assume it would be in first, right? The light one conquering the dark one. And I'm saying this even because of his alias, like Lumiere, which means light, or can be considered like the light bringer. But here it's the opposite. But it probably makes sense because he's probably gonna win against the loop that is taking place in which Philos and the MC, Philos uses the MC's heart and other people's lives in order to keep sustaining itself. But he's going to win that by facing the darkness, like we kind of see happening on his previous myth, the Fallen Crown myth, when he was fighting the Revenants. Everything was like very gloomy, like an Elden Ring and ambience. They're inspired by that, I think. And they both made a choice there, Xavier and the MC, and probably that choice when DMC talked to the Tree of Life, that will probably allow them to topple this established order that seems good on the surface, but it is not. And I'm talking here about the immortality, the fake immortality that they've constructed. Okay, here we have some interesting piece of jewelry. I think it's more aesthetic than anything else. And he's got a little fur here for the winter. It's very cold here too, so can I borrow that, Xavier? Anyway, it's pretty. And here we don't have any allusion to the red color, but there are so many strings here. It can be just aesthetic, or it can maybe relate to that sort of restraint, maybe.
I want to claim as mine.
Okay, all right. Do you see this? I don't know if you remember, but we have here some stairs, right? He mentioned that humanity wants to reach the Tower of Babel, and I think this is symbolic of that because it goes into the skies. I mean, we have here a planet. It could symbolize Philos, and maybe humanity, mankind, wants to reach even higher and reach the Tower of Babel, which will eventually cause their downfall. Yes, that's why we have here the infinity symbol too. Okay, see here? Because that's what Philos has, the infinity, the immortality, or something very close to that. Okay, this here symbolizes the way he's traveling through time and space, here more to space.
If an eye
Okay, now we have Zayne holding a sculp. Oh, and you see here on his neck and on his ears. I mean, his adornments are like the thorns we see on
violation is an inevitable end.
Oh, I didn't see them. Wait.
I'll freeze it before it can even reach you.
Annihilation. Wait. Okay, so we have the jasmines all made of ice. And he too has some chains here. But okay, he's okay. This is the scales. These are the scales that we seen on that previous art. Okay, and he's getting covered in ice again. And we have here, it's ice that is reflected on broken glass. I was just trying to find here. Okay, rebirth. Rebirth. Okay, rebirth and annihilation. Exactly, like we've talked in the analysis about his third myth, the Sacred Chapter 1. He's like Zayne, as the god of annihilation, sort of embodies
Inevitable end.
the message
I'll
behind
freeze it.
the tarot back card, in which something has to end in order for something new to be able to be birthed or reborn. So annihilation and rebirth makes perfect sense. Being tormented by the thorns by Astra or himself,
Before
right?
it can even reach you.
And here, oh, it's the heart and it's pierced. That's why he has the sculpt. He pierced his own heart when he took it off. I don't think people, I mean, at least I don't remember anyone talking about that part specifically, about the part that he tore his own heart. But that's very significant. There's always that theme of MC having trouble with her heart and the allies actually having half or part of the heart, or exchanging hearts. We've seen that clearly with Raphael, and I think with Xavier too, because he gave MC a protocore, and I think it was part of its heart. Let me see if I can. Oh, the mirror. I wanted to talk about that. This is a broken glass, but I'm assuming it's a mirror because we can see here the snowflakes. I think they're reflected. At least that's my interpretation of it. So I would say like a mirror is also symbolic of another self, of a shadow self sometimes. And I think that, makes sense too because it relates to the Dawnbreaker. His outfit, however, is not related to any of those myths. And another interesting detail is we have here hands. So one hand here is actually holding the scales, right? But this one here, we see another hand. And I think we have here some letters. I think this might be one of the tables that Zayne gave the MC on the secret chapter myth. Oh, and another thing here, near the heart is where we have life blooming. You see? Annihilation. We have here the darker tones and the choice he made. Oh, and we have here the arrows of their bows, because the MC used a bow in this myth, if you remember. But here, towards the heart, is where we have life being reborn. Here we have the light, the sun, and the flowers blooming. It's all the other, everything else is very dark and blue associated with the eyes, right? But here we have life blooming. At least that's how I'm reading this. Let me know what you think. I'm here yapping, rambling, probably too much. But hey, I was hoping I could find some clues for the following myth, but here for Zayne, unless it's, something related to Dawnbreaker, because we have here the broken glass. I don't know, but it's still, we're still a long way from that. Carrying on. Ocean. Okay, Raphael, baby. Water lilies, I think. It's the first time we see water lilies, so it makes sense, but it's the first time. And look here, the necklace. I think it's like fish tails or their skeletons. That's what it reminds me of, at least. And of course, we have the flame lilies as a jewelry, as a piece of jewelry, and we have here the pearls too, but as the flowers too. Oh, and we have sand here. We have all the
I
all
swear
the
to
mint.
burn in the flame that bears your
Okay. It's got the same piece of jewelry. It's the same for the hands, the bracelet.
name until I'm completely consumed.
Okay, he's once again talking about being consumed by flames. Inferno, ocean inferno. He's water and he's flames. Okay, let's analyze this, okay? Ooh, here. I kissed in the name of the drowned stone. Now the ocean speak it in storm. I think this might be a prophecy of the Dome of the Sea God, right? And here we have Lemuria while they were still thriving, right? Now we have here these water lilies, which makes sense. Actually, water lilies can also be a flower associated with Pisces. So that would also make sense for Raphael. But it's the first time we see it, and it's quite striking because it's green, and we usually don't see green associated with Raphael. So that's curious. Anyway, here we have as we said flame lilies, the fish, more fish here, the flames coming out of his hands. But here we have sand, which makes sense. It's the other myth, Sea of Golden Sands. So we have that represented here too. And on this side, we have like the reflection of Lemuria. It's like a shadow. And here I'm assuming, using his powers, or his powers are slipping away. If you remember the myth, Tears of Ramiro, he was almost slipping away. That was very, very angsty. As for clues about a new myth, I don't know. The only element that hasn't been featured that much, the flame lily. In one of the promise cards, the last one, they were mentioned as a source of inducing illusions. And we know that his paintings do very much the same. But in terms of myth and of having the flowers clearly, let's say, portraying a role, we haven't seen that happen yet. Maybe we will see on the next myth. I would definitely like that. Let me see if this can get a little clearer. I kissed off the drowned stone. Now the ocean speaks it in storm. So I'm assuming he's referring to the fact that he kissed and sea. He lost her. The city drowned, Lemuria drowned, and now his anger is being reflected and is being screamed through storms because he's the sea god and he also controls storms. I don't know if this necessarily relates to a new myth, but it's a very nice detail. We have here the throne of the sea god, the Lemuria, well, in its heydays, the Golden Sands myth, and here probably an allusion to the Tears of Ramiro. Let's proceed.
In Doomsday's
Desire, of course, and Doomsday always, but Desire, yeah. He and MC always have that theme of desire.
revelry, we're everlasting marks.
Shackles, yeah, okay. The imagery that we talked on at the beginning of the video, the chains, yeah, he's always related to shackles, but especially in religious terms, desires are seen as something negative, so it makes sense that shackles are associated with it as a sort of punishment. Anyways, we have here the datura, the colors, of course, black and red.
Marks that desire has branded on our soul.
Oh, I think this is so beautiful. The stained glass. We have here such a clear image of the dragon. Oh, and flames, you see? Flames. The burning city, like we've seen or we read about in and beyond Cloudfall. Okay, all right. We have here flames on the sides. You see here? And the feathers. This also seems to be like the chapel. We have stained glass in here. I think I remember this window, or it's similar to that one that we've seen on his wedding banner. Chapel that appears. And also on his latest myth, where Silverwings rest. And once again, here you see the chains, the shackles, so to speak. The datura. And this piece here around his neck. Oh, and his necklace. I think this is an S. Sylus. And we have here the red gemstone. I was almost say omnipresent in his imagery. And also it's associated with his eye. It's protocore eye. But here, this piece here, I was thinking if it reminds me like a tail, right? Yeah, I think it's like the tail of a dragon. Anything else here that we can extract? I don't think so. But anyways, this is so beautiful. All of the artworks are they're all amazing. But they usually are. Coexistence. Oh, oh, he has like is this half an apple? I think so. I think they look like half an apple here, half an apple there. Okay, coexistence. Indulgence.
You're my
He's being very indulgent here. Oh, that's just a tiny. Oh, look, this is open. Well, he's very obvious about it, isn't it? It's an apple of choice, and also a little bit of apple of temptation, right? It's open. His fly is open. Okay, but I've got some other
gravity,
things
that
to
inevitable
say about
path.
this. Look at the symbol on his earring,
My love and
similar to that one of the pin. Pin with a leopard, right? Now this is interesting. because in Chinese symbolism, I mean, the leopard is not one of the main animals of the Chinese folklore, but it has some importance. There's a leopard, zhang, which is like a, it's sort of like a leopard with a horn and five tails. It's from an ancient text called Classic of Mountains and Seas. And apparently, that creature, that leopard-like beast, its cry sounds like stones clashing, and therefore, in on the Qing dynasty, they have or they had official badges, and the leopard symbolized one of its ranks, the third one. And then there's the Chanli, which was sort of a leopard cat in folklore, and that one shape shifts into humans. Now, this, I think it also makes sense. In terms of the military rank, it makes sense because, Caleb is a colonel. So that makes sense. And, this art here, but let's
And sins must follow.
when I first saw this, I think like, is he going to transform into like an animal? And with the Chanli interpretation, I think there might be some, I don't know, I don't think they would actually do it. I wouldn't mind. But there might be something related to that, right? Besides that, in Feng Shui, the leopard is also used as a symbol of protection and power. So, makes sense too. He's powerful, for sure. And his mission is to protect. Even if he pretends to join the enemy side, so to speak, his main goal is really to protect the MC. So that would make sense here as well. So we have something interesting here in this imagery. I mean, first of all, it's all very like kind of luscious. We have lots of greens and the golden, lots of golden too. So it's kind of like it makes me think of paradise or Paradise Lost. And the apple specifically being golden reminds me of the apple of discord in Greek mythology. I think this we have like this barbed wire here, and this I first saw like this it's like a trap for animals, right? That's what it looks like. So is he going to be the prey or the hunter, right? And then we have here this progression from the trap to the barbed wire, kind of like things are escalating, right? And this one is close to the leopard, so someone is trying to catch it. And here, I think this reminds me of the black crystals or the crystals that are forming when someone is turning into an alterum or a wanderer. So that also makes me think of transformation. So is Caleb going to start transforming into something? We know that Professor Lucius and Ever are doing experiments on him. It's not, they just didn't help him with a mechanical arm. They're actually doing experiments. And Professor Lucius actually said that he's just waiting for him to become a weapon and completely lose himself, right? So maybe they're trying to transform him into one of those Alterum or something, even deadlier. And it's very prominent, the leopard, because it's here, but also on this, let's say, pin. This is definitely a new element being associated with Caleb. And it's on his earring too, that sort of symbol. His necklace kind of reminds me of something a little bit more tribal. When we, I don't know if you've seen that, some necklaces that have like, in which they hang the teeth of their enemies or beasts that they killed. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but once again, it's all golden. And here, this longer necklace kind of reminds me of the Greek, like a wreath, right? Or a laurel. So, once again, tying with Greek mythology, I believe. Very curious. This could also relate to like a post-apocalyptic world. For example, let's imagine that some parallel universe or an alternate reality to the decoherence myth in which Caleb and Yamsi escaped, and they're starting off somewhere new, kind of like having to survive, having to hunt, and bringing life to a new world, sort of like Adam and Eve. That could be it as well. Let me see if something else pops out, except for his apple. Okay. So that's it. Reaction slash analysis. If you have like similar thoughts or if you've seen more through this imagery, let me know. I'm assuming these cards, like the previous ones from last year, will only be like secret times, and I love those. But they have much lore usually. But these arts usually have clues, whether to what's already happened or what will happen in the future. So yeah, I hope that made sense, and I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to leave your comment to the set, and if you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe. This is Princess Farron signing out. Take care, good gaming, and stay safe. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of you. Bye bye.